Hi, Alejandra.
Really nice to meet you. So, give me an example of a time that you felt you went above and beyond the call of duty at work.
In my previous job, I had the title of being the financial analyst for the different departments that we were handling. And one of the occasions, my coworker was out sick, and she had an assignment that was due that had to be submitted into the headquarters at the time. And I remember her frantically calling me, and I told her that I would take care of it. She actually had a couple of mistakes in that they were spreadsheets. She had mistakes in those, and she called me and she was going to fix them, and I told her not to worry about it. And that same day, we found out that another one of our coworkers had mistakes in theirs. So I personally thought to myself, this is not my job. I don't have to do this, but for the good of the company, and we all work as a team. So if one of us fails, we all fail. And I thought it was really helpful for everybody to pitch in to help our coworkers who are not able to comply with their.
So, why do you want this job?
I am leaving my previous job because I feel like I am ready for a bigger challenge. In my previous job, my assignments were pretty constant. It was the same thing in every instance, and I want this job because I understand and I know what needs to happen. As a financial analyst, I have experience in that, so I'm ready to take the next step in my career.
And so, give me an example of a time you did something wrong and how you handled it.
I remember exactly my first year working as a financial analyst. I had no experience, I had no expertise in it, and I had a really good mentor. And I remember I made mistakes in some of the spreadsheets that we had to be submitted, and unfortunately they were submitted and they caused the company's analysis to fluctuate, which meant we lost a lot of revenue, and it was my fault. I remembered that, and at the end we ended up going back to fix it because obviously losing revenue wasn't part of the plan. And we ended up with the help of the rest of the team. It went really well.
So, thoroughly explain a situation or task that you had to go through in the workplace. Describe the background of the situation, like what was the setting, and what actually happened. Who else was involved, and what happened that made you display this kind of call to action?
I remember on one occasion when there was a staff meeting after our boss, our executive officer, explained to us that we needed to meet certain deadlines that were pretty difficult because the company that we worked for wanted the product in on time, and it was very difficult to comply with that. I remember my other coworkers who are also financial analysts with far more experience than myself had difficulty complying with those deadlines as well, because someone who is not an analyst probably may not understand the great deal of stress and energy that it takes to do these spreadsheets and gather all this data information. We ended up not completing the deadline because we were doing things the right way. If it had been rushed, it probably would have resulted in a loss of revenue and a big decline for the company.
So, like, what was the result of all this?
Although the spreadsheets were not turned in on time, the work was very pristine and circular. So it ended up, the other company did like the results of it, and it was a success.
Thank you. Do you have any follow-up questions?
What kind of skills and experiences would make an ideal candidate to fill this position with you?
So we feel as our company, it's important that people are really gung-ho for advocating for the company, even if it's past the deadline. And you have shown that, especially in this interview, showing that you are a team player and you're going to be able to give to the company all you can, even if it's past the deadline, and you're going to give it 110%. Thank you for coming in. We look
Thank
forward to having you.